Hi, my name is Katie Koestner, and I am the Executive Director at Campus Outreach Services. Our organization works on health and wellness all over the country. We have over 5,000 communities where we've been and where we continue to go back. And today's program is all about how we can individually, personally be at our very best. This particular conversation is around motherhood. There are so many of us who go through the experience of becoming a mother, and then our bodies seem to think that we should stay in one situation and we really want our body back. So this program, we're going to learn all about some of the great ways that we can get our bodies back after we have gone through motherhood. And I'm pleased to have with me two incredible guests. I have Dr. Alison Abiri. Alison, could you explain a little bit about who you are and your background?
Thanks, Katie. My name is Dr. Alison Abiri, and I am a licensed physician. I practice in Pennsylvania right now, but I am licensed in New York and California as well. I have about 10 years experience as a licensed physician, and I am currently working in the field of aesthetics, which is my area of expertise. And I started and founded Essence Spa.
Excellent, excellent. And your academic credentials, where did you go to school?
Oh, great. Thanks, Katie. I went to undergraduate in a combined medical program at Boston University, and then from there I went and trained at University of Pittsburgh.
Excellent, excellent. And then we also are so pleased to have Billie Jo Vale with us. And Billie Jo, can you tell our viewers a little bit about yourself as well?
Yes, thanks, Katie. I'm Billie Jo Vale, and I'm a licensed laser technician at Essence Spa, and I've been in the field for 16 years, and I've been with Essence Spa since the beginning.
Outstanding. Thanks so much for joining us, Billie Jo. And for all of our viewers today, I mean, we're really thinking about the problems that go along with you get this gigantic child growing inside you, and you never imagine what could happen to your body as a woman. Everyone kind of says, oh, I can't wait to be a mom, and then all of a sudden our bodies feel what it's like to be a mom, and after that whole experience is over, it's like, oh no, what do we do next? So for our viewers today, we're going to talk about a really interesting, amazing new technology that helps us get our bodies back to where we want them to be. And Dr. Abiri is going to share with us a little bit about what that procedure is like and what goes into it. So my understanding is there is a laser or a treatment that can help reshape our bodies after we've either gained some weight or we want to, tone and trim. So can you explain what that's all about?
Sure. Well, I'm going to be talking to you about sculpture laser body contouring. And this is a great treatment. It's one that helps all sorts of moms, including myself. I'm a mom of 5 kids, so I understand the concerns that people often have about their body shape and how they look after having children. Laser body contouring is a great concept. The idea of using a laser to melt fat started about a decade ago.
Wait, let's back up 1 second. You said we can melt fat. That I'm sure all of our viewers are like, you can do what?
I know, it's amazing.
So just back up and let's stop on that quick point. When we say melt fat, I mean, after pregnancy, sometimes we gain a little bit more than we should. We're definitely craving a lot of interesting foods. And I think it's tough because we're turning on the TV and we see all these supermodels and actresses who just look flawless, like 2 days later, all of a sudden their body is perfect. So let's go back to this idea that there are moms that don't have personal trainers and don't have full-time staffing to make them look their best. So what are we talking about melting fat? Can you explain what that means?
Okay. Well, first I want you to picture it like a stick of butter. Imagine your fat as butter.
That's easy.
Imagine the laser is a hot skillet. Now you can place that butter on a hot skillet and actually melt it. Now that melted butter is now destroyed. It's not that stick of butter, just like the fat in your body is no longer fat. It's now destroyed fat. And that melted fat can then be reabsorbed by your body and excreted as waste.
Okay, let me just make sure I got that because this sounds, I'm sure, too good to be true for a lot of us. So we can all kind of see, sometimes you can even see fat cells, right? They cause like dimples on us.
Right.
So we can literally zap them and melt them, and the body can then just excrete them as if we had just eaten.
That's right. It sounds like science fiction, but it's true.
And is it because of the type of the laser? I mean, it's heating things up. I think there's also another idea that you could freeze them.
That's right. So destroying fat via laser or via other methods has been around for a while. Now, what's really amazing about Sculpture, this new laser that we're offering, is that the laser can actually work without going and cutting into your skin or going into your body. So now your skin is cooled throughout the procedure and the fat is melted through. What's important to remember, and what people forget and often feel confused about, is that you're born essentially with the fat you're going to have for life. Hormones.
The number of cells?
That's correct.
Okay.
That's correct. The number of fat cells you're going to have for life. Your hormones and your genetics determine where that fat is, what areas of your body you tend to gain and enlarge those fat cells. But basically, you're born the way you are. Now, when you diet and exercise, those exact fat cells shrink. And when later in life, when you gain weight, those fat cells then expand again. There's no way for you to destroy fat cells naturally. The only way you can do that is with technology.
They're just expanding and contracting based on what we're eating and
right, and different times of your life, what your hormone status is. Now, lots of moms find that the hormones from pregnancy result in fat collecting in areas that they don't like it.
Yeah, let's talk about that, because I was thinking for our viewers, some women and men, I presume men can do this treatment.
Correct. We have a lot of men who choose
right.
to do this.
So you hear about men get the pot belly or the beer belly, and women sometimes complain about those arm flaps or their thighs, or they say I'm pear-shaped, or I'm too heavy up here. So we can really target the places that we want to get rid of.
This is another great aspect of this technology. Because the applicators are small and movable, we're able to target specific areas and treat the fat in those areas. So each treatment is customized based off of what you're telling the provider who's providing the service is bothering you and where you want to target.
Okay, so now we're going to heat up and destroy these fat cells in the areas of the body where we want to. It works on men and women, right? What about age? Does it work on any age? I mean, I'm worried now, what about the 16-year-old who's like, I want to drop 20 pounds before the prom.
Right.
Is that crazy? Should we say don't do that?
Yeah, we really do select our customers and help them choose the right people who fit this service. So I wouldn't say a 16-year-old wanting to drop weight is right. This is a medical procedure. You do need to put some thought behind it, but it is safe, fast, and effective. And that's what makes it such a great procedure for the right person.
Yeah, safe, fast, and effective sounds great.
Yeah,
but when you say fast, are we talking about like literally someone could lose pounds overnight? Like, can you tell us the procedure itself?
Sure. Well, the procedure itself actually only takes 25 minutes. I know.
Okay.
It's amazing. The
Wow.
applicators are placed on the area you wish to treat. The skin is cooled throughout the procedure. During the procedure, the laser fires, destroying fat. And then at the end of the 25 minutes, the procedure is completely done and the laser is removed. Now, are you going to look completely different when you're done? No. Remember, just like that stick of butter, the butter is melted, but it needs to be reabsorbed and excreted, and that takes time. Anywhere from 6 to 12 weeks for that fat to be reabsorbed. But you have no downtime, and you're able to return to your normal activities without any delay.
So if I went in at noon tomorrow, I'm easily at work.
Yeah, no problem. You could do it on your lunch break.
And no one's going to notice anything.
No one's going to notice anything. You may feel a little sore after the procedure, like you did a heavy workout, but other than that, you'll be fine.
That sounds unbelievable.
It is unbelievable.
Okay, so let's go through a couple other questions. Billy Joe, you're someone who helps treat or perform this service?
Yes.
So when you see your customers, your clients come in, they are asking you for help in a particular area, right?
They are.
And you will treat them about how many times?
It really depends on where they want to be, but typically we recommend a series of 3 treatments.
3, okay. In the same
and
area.
expand out every 6 weeks.
Okay, so 3 treatments.
In the same area.
In the same area. And how often do you go for a treatment? Is it
every 6 weeks, because you
every
want to
6
give
weeks.
your body that chance to, absorb the fat cells and excrete them.
Great. And then what have you seen for people who've come in and had their 3 treatments? What are people telling you? Are they happy, or are they magically amazed?
Yes, I think that people that have the treatment in an area that they really are very unhappy with, they see the result that they expected to see. One of the things our clients like to do is do this in combination with kind of kicking off, a better way of life, a healthier way of life. Yes, yes. And when you do combine it with that, you do see amazing results.
Well, I was actually thinking that for our viewers, probably there are those who say, I've tried diet and exercise and my fat always comes back, but this sounds like it would really solve some of that problem to some extent because you can't make more cells, right, doctor?
Exactly.
Okay, so, we have a few minutes left in our program, and I think the logical next step is anyone who's thinking that this sounds great, they're going to want to know, how much are we talking? This sounds crazily expensive. Is it affordable? How can we get a range of what this might cost?
Well, at Essence Spa, the prices go as low as $325 per applicator.
$325?
$325 per applicator. And each of those applicators can be placed wherever you decide you want to place them.
Wow. That's not terrible.
Yes.
It's not cheap, but it doesn't sound unaffordable.
For a permanent solution, it is affordable, as you say.
Right.
When you think of other permanent
or more
solutions.
invasive solutions, right?
You don't have any of the time off from work or any of the time off from your life.
Excellent. And the next thing is, I know you all are at Essence Spa, and maybe you could share with us, what are some of the philosophies that drive the way you do things, and what are some of the warning signs that when people might be out there looking or shopping around, what are some things that they shouldn't see when they go out looking and asking questions?
Well, I would remember that wherever you do your treatment, you need to be comfortable with the person who's doing it. You need to feel comfortable asking questions and being freely answered in a respectful way.
What would be 3 warning signs, 3 things that you don't want to hear?
Well, I think a lot of people's attitudes in medical practice is time is money, and that would be a warning sign to me. You want someone who's going to give you as much time as you need to feel comfortable with the procedure. Taking shortcuts or not being with you during treatments is an issue. For instance, at our spa, when you're undergoing sculpture treatment, we're with you every minute.
When you say we, like you, the doctor?
I am there as well as I have an assistant there. Now, we coach you through the procedure. We adjust the energy and strength of the laser throughout the entire procedure. We also, especially Billy Joe, provides massage of the arms, shoulders, and neck to help you tolerate a higher energy level. Now, what's important about that is the higher energy level you have, the better the results. We found that the more energy we can deliver, the more fat cells we're able to destroy in the same amount of time.
It sounds to me like what we should be paying attention to is there consistency in the personnel, in the staffing. So I'm going to see the same person when I come in, so they're going to get to know me, right?
That's right. If you're doing a series of treatments, always make sure that the staff member who's going to be doing that treatment, whether it be a doctor or an ancillary staff member, is going to be the same staff member for all the steps. And because these treatments may be spread out over time, this could be over a longer period of time, maybe half a year that you're seeing someone. Many places have rotating door of staff people where every 3 months they have a completely different staff.
Great. And then another thing that you had mentioned is not only the staffing, but you're a doctor. Sometimes I feel like there's no doctor to be found in some places. So why is having a doctor really important?
Well, I think now that
we're doctor owned, you're the doctor you own.
I think that now that we have businesses and medical businesses taken over by pure entrepreneurs, they often just hire physicians to sign off on the charts. So as a patient, I think it's very important to ask, does the doctor come in? How often do they come in? Can I see them or talk with them if I have questions? A lot of places the answers will be no, they don't. So I think it's very important. At Essence Spa, I always do the procedures with you. I feel that even though this is a non-invasive, and even though Billy Joe is licensed to do the procedures on her own, because you're doing something that's permanent, it's worth it and necessary to see a physician.
Thanks, Dr. Allison, and thank you, Billy Joe, for joining us. And for all of our viewers, I think this is amazing technology, and what science can bring us is really, truly a miraculous kind of option. So what I do know is that Essence Spa would be the kind of place you could go and ask questions and have answers given to you with real veracity. So if this is something you're interested in, definitely read more. I think take a visit to Essence Spa and talk with the experts. Hopefully this will expand your horizons and give you a new way to be well. Thank you so much for joining us.